The last time you saw me, I was bald with a beard and no mustache, and I had a different nose.
My high school science teacher?
There comes a time in any action hero star where he takes a role and stumbles. Well, let's face it, not Arnold, but certainly Stallone. When it comes to Bruce Willis, the man was riding high after 2 Die Hard films and the comedy Look Who's Talking. Nobody was blaming him for Bonfire of the Vanities, so he was set up for success in its new project, Hudson Hawk. For years, I had to endure ridicule because I loved this movie. From all the roles Bruce did in his career, this one was the closest to my heart. So, like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Hudson Hawk.
Robbing a freaking Vatican. The nuns at St. Agnes predicted this.
Hudson Hawk is the love child of Willis and Robert Kraft. It is essentially the character named Bruno, which is immortalized in an album that Kraft produces and Bruce did the vocals on, as the titular role of Bruno. But Hawk is infused with a little bit of a backstory to fit with the overall arcing narrative of the story. Hudson Hawk is a successful cat burglar. Well, not that successful, as we see him get out of jail and picked up by his friend Tommy Fivetone. Hawk wants nothing to do with crime, but from the moment he left the jail, everyone around him is trying to push him to do yet another job. His parole officers, the Mario brothers, and Tommy himself.
So, why won't you do the auction house?
Well, call me superstitious, Caesar. I don't like to commit a crime within 24 hours of getting out of the joint.
Hawk reluctantly agrees, and both him and Tommy rob an auction house. The item? A famous mock horse designed by Leonardo da Vinci himself, the Sforza. Things on the job go a little bit dicey, so Hawk decides to attend the auction the next day, when things go awfully wrong.
No, I mean, you didn't have to tackle me and rip my dress.
Oh.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Thanks for saving me, tough guy.
As Hawk frees himself from the Mario brothers, he falls into the lap of the Candy Bars, a rogue CIA group led by George Kaplan, who reveals the fact that Hawk was sent to jail because he was set up.
My employer wants a meeting.
Your employer? The president?
No, somebody powerful.
The Candy Bars tell Hawk that he's not completed his job since there are more Da Vinci items that needed to be stolen. So the Candy Bars put Hawk to sleep and send him to Rome.
Now?
Yes, now.
When Hawk reaches Rome, the story kind of truly begins as he receives more and more instructions from the Candy Bars and discovers who the Mayflowers are and reunites with Anna Bergali, who he met at the auction house prior to it exploding.
Oh, I was afraid you weren't going to drop by.
Am I late?
What I left out from this whole ordeal is the introduction itself. The movie earnestly begins with explaining the source of the entire problem. Da Vinci discovers a method to turn lead into gold using this special crystal. Understanding the problem with this, he breaks the crystals into parts and hides them so the world won't know what he did. This is our MacGuffin for the rest of the story.
We come across a diary by one of Da Vinci's assistants detailing La Macchina de Oro, the gold machine for those at home.
Hudson Hawk is a character that blurs the line between Bruce Willis the actor and Bruce Willis's characters. I said that Hawk is based on Bruno, but since I was a fan of Moonlighting, the TV show that really made Willis a household name, to me, Hudson Hawk is always closest to David Addison, a character that he plays on that show. The unique thing that comes into this movie is establishing why the hell Hawk is a uniquely talented cat burglar. It is not just his perception or pre-planning. It is in the way that everything is timed to perfection and using his vast knowledge of songs and their timings to do a precision job. This allows Hawk to do a job with a two-man operation and keep to a specific timing without needing the use of any radio communication. Quite a neat trick.
We got about 5 minutes and change.
5:32, swinging on a star.
You know, they invented something while you're inside. It's called a watch.
The movie itself is like a live-action cartoon. It is not just the jokes or the slapstick humor, it is actually in the action scenes as well. Whether it's Hawk fighting Tommy, Hawk fighting Kaplan, or Bunny fighting Anna, everything is over-exaggerated and over the top.
How do I stop this? My hat!
There are so many references to childish things. It begins with Hudson mentioning the fact that he was in prison for so long, he never got to play a Nintendo. That theme continues with him trying to play Nintendo with Anna later on. Of course, the Mafioso brothers that are after Hudson are the Mario brothers, although the creators were careful and named them Caesar and Anthony rather than Mario and Luigi.
The Mario brothers weren't New Jersey's third largest crime family, I'd say kiss my ass. But considering your status, I will say slurp my butt.
But those aren't really the only ones. Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss is invoked into a twisted joke. Yogi the Bear was used as a joke. And overall, the movie is just one big goof.
Fettuccine con funghi porcini, prego.
Benissimo, signore.
Oh, and bring me a bottle of ketchup with that, will you?
You heard him.
Because it is a wacky movie, it had some really eccentric characters. The candy bars led by none other than the esteemed actor James Coburn that played it straight throughout the movie. Kit Kat, the impersonator of the group, played by young David Caruso, was silent, as he should be always in any movie. And to fill the crazy rich narcissists that are the Mayflowers, Richard E. Grant and Sandra Bernhard filled those roles and made it into a fantastically great characters.
Outbid by mine own wench, quelle belle-mère.
Don't hate me, baby.
The things that people mostly remember about this film is actually the production hell it went through. The costs were insane. Shipping a gold machine mock-up built in England and sent to Hungary was just totally insane. Shutting down half of a bridge in and out of New York City for a few nights just to film an ambulance scene that was barely in the movie. And there are more and more examples of this. Grant even had a full chapter on his experiences just on that shoot in his biography, because most of the problems came out from the writing and direction. It seems like things were rewritten, reshot so many times, the actors didn't even know what the plot is at the end of the day. It was changed and changed so many times, and it drove most of the cast crazy.
You must pay the rent. But I can't pay the rent.
Yo, Flipper.
Eventually, it was a complete box office failure because in the States, it was marketed as the next action movie by Bruce Willis. But in fact, it was a comedy, but it was well received overseas. I watched this for the very first time on VHS rental and I loved it. All the jokes landed for me and the over-the-top Bruce Willis was just my cup of tea or cup of coffee.
Something tastes like cappuccino.
Ah, I guess I put too much ethyl chloride in it.
It's a movie that I will gladly recommend for people to watch if they want to see Prime Willis at his most crazy. If they want to experience a tour de force of over-the-top acting by Grant and Bernhardt. Even Danny Aiello gets to shine with his comedic chops in this one. It's hilarious, fun, and enjoyable. The movie doesn't take itself too seriously, and even though it was a complete mess behind the scenes, it is a must-watch in my view.
2.5 minutes to save Anna, 3.5 minutes to save the world.
600. Side by side?
I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this review, smash that like button to help me out and beat that algorithm. Check out other reviews that I've done in the past, or check out our live Saturday show where we cover all sorts of amazing movies, even this one. And remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.